that already were in the community coming back, or we're actually getting more and more people into the Hex community. But either way, it's a lot of fun to see. Alright guys, coming into pack number 1, what do we have? The Killipede is our first pick here. That is our rare / legendary, and it is delicious. 4 cost for a 1/5, lethal, and while this is attacking, you also have Swift Strike. When this deals damage to an opposing champion twice, they are destroyed. It would be a very odd pick for us not to take this here. And so that is what I am going to do. Looks like my stupid chat interface still isn't working. Let's try this one more time. Ping. Ping. Nope. Yes, it is a fantastic first pick, Cepheid. I am definitely going to nab this. It also looks like I'm going to need to mess with my chat settings, probably after this draft. Hey there, B-Monkey. Welcome to the stream. Well, we'll see if we can make use of it. One of the most common pitfalls when you're drafting is to look at your first pick and go, man, I want to force this. I absolutely must use this. That's actually very often a trap. Yes, the Killipede is amazing. It can totally win you a game, and sometimes you'll splash for it. But I'm not going to enter in this draft saying I must go blood. If I were to do that, I would be cutting myself off from other potential options. Now, that being said, there are some good blood options for us. We could take this Tormented Ritualist. There's also an Inducticopter bot here. I'm halfway tempted to pick up Crackling Rot. Blood and Ruby do tend to go fairly well together. It's also removal, deal 3 damage to target champion or troop, and gain a charge. So that's I'm in a little bit of a tough choice here. Tormented Ritualist for our attack, or Crackling Bolt for the removal. I think I like the removal option slightly better. We are passing up a Boulder Toss, but it is double threshold, and I would like to keep our options open as we move forward. Coming into pick number 3, there is nothing very good for us here in Blood or Ruby, quite frankly. Tome of Knowledge is the rare. It's kind of pitiful. You have no maximum hand size, and while you have 7 or more cards in your hand, pay 1 and draw a card. I think we might see some use from this card little down the line, but until set 3 comes out and there are new cards to combo with it, it's kind of a dead fish, both in Constructed and in the limited pool. I think for me, the pick is going to be Immortal Tears. It is fixing. No matter what we go, we can make use of an Immortal Tears, and everything else kinda not spectacular. I mean, there are a lot of decent cards in here, and if we were already in some of those colors, I would take them without hesitation. But since we aren't, I would rather take the fixing and kind of see what opens up. We might end up in completely different shards, but for now, this is the safer pick if we want to hold on to this other direction as well. And it looks like we were rewarded, at least slightly. Here's a second Crackling Bolt. We will definitely be doing some Ruby. It looks like no blood at all. This is a difficult pack for us. A lot of robots and artifacts. We can have a reactor bot, spam bot. There's also an Electroid here. Intriguing. No, I'm going to take this Crackling Bolt and go from there. And actually, Blood and Ruby, solid colors. We have a Gem Snatchers. Now, one thing we can put in the Gem Snatchers is Rage. We could also put Unblockable, and that together makes for a fairly devastating troop if your opponent doesn't have, say, robots to block with. That might very well be our pick. Another one we could potentially look at is the Shard of Hatred. It is a dual resource in our colors. Charge Hulk is also not bad. But I think I like the Gem Snatchers. See if we can get a number of unblockable troops. Alright, coming into pick number 6, pack number 1. What do we have? We have the Arena Regular. Arena Regular is likely going to be the pick for me. We do already have 2 Crackling Bolts, that is multiple ways that we can gain extra charges outside of our original resources. This is fantastic. With enough Arena Regulars, you don't even need to attack your opponent. You can just kill them simply by playing your other cards. Very effective. Whenever you gain a charge, this deals 1 damage to each opponent. They're forced to kill it. They're forced to use critical removal on a 2/1 alone. That's value. Anytime you can force somebody to do that. Bastion of Adamant, there's another scary card. Time Ripple is so-so. We'll taking the Arena Regular. I'm thinking Blood is being cut very, very heavily. We might want to at least consider going other directions. I know that's not something I want to do, but we might be forced into it. Looks like Diamond is a bit more open. Looks like Sapphire is a bit more open. Well, of these cards, I'm most afraid of the Underground Overdriver. If you remember, there were a lot of robots going around. Underground Overdriver is very effective if somebody's playing robots. Let's cut that from the pool. We could also potentially use it ourselves if we happen to get a number of robots coming back to us. But for now, it's a bin card. We'll just keep it there, nice and safe. Alright, so coming into this next pack, this is pick number 8. Did pass a Crackling Rot from the first pack. No, that's true, Cephid. That's true. But, you know, Crackling Rot versus Killipede. I'm willing to bet that on the other rotation, we might see a little bit more blood. But, I mean, as it stands, I'm pretty happy with our current pick. With 2 Crackling Bolts, a Gem Snatcher, and Arena Regular, we can make something happen. Fire Soul Wizard is probably going to be the pick for us, if only because I'm not sure I'm going to be playing Blood and Ruby. Sad as that is. Take the Brutal Bone Cracker here. This is a 4-cost, 2/3, Rage 1. While you control another orc, this has speed. So, as long as you have some orcs present in your pool, you can attack in with a 3/3 with speed. Very powerful, and if you have a number of them, you can start playing them one after another and really put a great deal of pressure on your opponent. Let's sort this by cost. Coming into our 10th pick, I'm going to grab this Construction Plans Hornet Bot. We might end up going some robots. If nothing else, Hornet Bot is a little bit difficult to deal with, particularly in numbers, in a limited environment, so I'm going to cut that. Here is a Ridge Raider. The other option is, of course, to take the Phoenix Guard Enforcer. These things are also one of those sort of scary troops at the 4-cost level. Hey, Lazarus. How you doing? Welcome. What was pick number 1? Hey, David Death. Pick number 1 was the Killipede, right here. Not a bad one. You might be familiar. Ridge Raider number 2. I don't mind if I do. Now, again, we have the Recovery Specialist, we have the Murmurs, but I'm looking at a more aggressive style of deck, if this is any indication. So yeah, I'm gonna grab this Ridge Raider here. Oh, hey, Ridge Raider number 3. Should I grab it? I think I should. Hey there, Praylin. How are you doing? Hey, Dark Knight. And a high five to you two. We're gonna take the Burrow Bunny here. Don't know that we'll play it, but we'll take it. Better than the Gobbleglade, in my opinion, and the Spirit Hound as well. I think once we get more scary constants, Gobbleglade will just shoot up in value, but for right now it's kind of meh. There are only a few legendary cards that are really worth killing with that troop, and then it's a sideboard card at best. I mean, it is on curve. Gobbleglade Witch is a 2/2 4/2. That's not bad, but you'd always take multi-shards the last 3 picks over troops. The reason why I didn't do that, David Death, is because I have the option of 3 Ridge Raiders now. That's a big deal. If we can run 16 shards, 15 shards, that would be amazing. We already have a lot of troops that combo with orcs. I say we just sort of continue in that vein. This is pick number 1 of Pack 2. I think we will take the Storm Cloud, if only because it is a powerful card in its own right, and it's worth bank, so we'll take that. The only other card in that pack that I would really consider for myself is Fire Soul Wizard, and that tends to wheel, let's be honest. Alright, coming into pick number 2. Let's see here. I am going to take this Crackling Rot. The Royal here is scary, but we're not running those colors. Crank Rockets, a lot of dwarfy things. We might regret the dwarves, but for now, removal seems king. We will take that. Also give us a 3-drop, which we don't currently have. Oh hey, Crackling Bolt. Maybe we just go all the removal. How's that? We don't need troops, right? The Battlecry Warlord might very well be something we pick up later. It will probably wheel. Spam Bot is also decent. I'm gonna take the Crackling Bolt. Yum. 3 Crackling Bolts and a Crackling Rot. And a Killipede. Teapot. No. Teapot is a poor pick, David Death. I mean, Squirrel Brain say, rares, but Teapot has never worked out for me. It is a little bit slow. We are in an aggressive deck currently. It just doesn't jive with our other options. Seems like we've gotten quite a few charge cards for Arena Regular. That we have, Bimonki. I want another Arena Regular too. We'll see if that ends up happening. We might just not have one in the pool. The one that we currently got did wheel. We'll see. I'm thinking the Mentor of the Flames is the ideal pick for us here. It is not only removal, it is also an Orc that is a 3/2 body as well. Could take the Talisman of Vitae. That could be pretty awesome depending on what kind of champion we go, but that seems a bit excessive. We don't have other things besides the Arena Regular that combos off of charges. I say we might get more mileage out of the Mentor. Although if we went Talisman, we could swing Farney. Nope. We take the Mentor. And coming in to pick 20, what have we here? We have another Ridge Raider. Don't mind if I do. That is our 4th Ridge Raider. These things can be crazy good. A bunch of 2/2s popping down, particularly with removal to back them up, is a devastating early start, and some decks simply cannot deal with that. We will have to rely a little bit on some of the orcs in our 3rd pack. I think set 1 orcs really round out our current selection. I wouldn't mind a couple Arena Brawlers. Those 3/1s are pretty solid if you want to go aggressive. We'll see what comes to us, though. Ooh. Now, this is not a bad choice. I think I am going to take this Mesmeric Hypnoscientist. If you want aggression and you are in Ruby, this is the pick for you. Tunneling 2, or 2 to tunnel it, tunneling 3. It is a 5/2 that gets to slam into somebody's face, and furthermore, when it enters play, target troop cannot block this turn. It's pretty good. Now, there's some other decent things, tasty things in here. There's a Dwarven Ballistics Training, a Flak Scrapper, a Launchpad Specialist. You guys know how much I love my Launchpad Specialist, but the pick here is the Mesmeric Hypnoscientist. It's just too good to pass up. Alright, for pick 22, somebody has passed up a bot shop. We are going to take this out, and we are just not going to look back. This thing will allow you to gain so much card advantage over an opponent. Exhaust 3 dwarves and or robots, you get a bot shop, pay 3, you get to draw a card. So good, so powerful, let's just not have to deal with it. It's looking like a menace. That's the idea, Dark Knight. That's the idea. So now we have a decision to make. On the one hand, I think the Fierce Warlord is it. When in this enters play, troops you control with cost 1 or less get +1/+1. It's either that or the Ridge Raider. Ridge Raider is attractive, but the Fierce Warlord can buff up our previous Ridge Raiders and make them 3/3s. That seems like the better play. I'm gonna take it. It is double threshold, though. Slightly problematic. Let's take the Fire Soul Wizard. Like mono Ruby, practically. So Twitch stopped being twitchy. Apparently, a little bit. My plugin is still not working, so you might notice the chat is not appearing on the screen currently. I keep refreshing it, but that does not seem to fix the problem. I'll get a screen region capture in just a little bit to make sure chat appears up for you guys. But you know, for right now, some of my interfacing issues are being problematic. Sadly. All right, what is the scariest thing for us here? Probably this Manti Ranger. I mean, this Flak Trapper is also bad. We can destroy our stuff and be harder for us to attack in. It's either the Flak Scrapper or the Manti Ranger. I'm thinking Manti Ranger. Because Spell Shield in a deck full of removal seems like a bad matchup. When we're playing against it, anyway. Let's take this Phoenix Guard Messenger. It's easier to splash, and it gives our opponents card draw when we attack into it. Manti beats your removal, and that makes us sad pandas. Absolutely, David Death. You know the score. Spell Shield is kind of a headache. I'm going to take this Withering Touch just in case. I don't think that we will play it per se, but we have a lot of removal of our own. And I would rather that, you know, Withering Touch isn't used against us. Wounded War Hero is not bad, but we have way too few humans to make use of it. And the Briar Patch is kind of worthless given our colors. Alright, Spirit Hound, Grand Squirrel Titan, and an Iljuni Mirthkin. I'll take the Spirit Hound, if only because it isn't uncommon. Otherwise, 6/6 is scary. Hey, the Dwarven Ballistics Training coming all the way back around. We will take this. I don't know that I'm going to be using it, but we'll take it. And a Crackling Boon for our last pick of Pack 2. Alright, this is looking like a mono Ruby deck, honestly. Okay, guys. I'm gonna gloat a little bit. I have now completed my Set 1 playset. That, my friends, is an Angel of Dawn. So happy about this. Yeah. So, Killipede first pack, and Angel of Dawn third pack. Yeah. Yes, my friends, that is fantastic. I'm going to sneak this into my sideboard. Man. Coming into pick 2 of Pack 1, we have the Unmerciful Tormentor. And this seems to be a really good pick for us. Look at this. This is a Fierce Warlord. When this enters play, troops you control with cost 1 or less get +1/+1. It is an orc. It combos well, and when we empty our hand, this gets +3/+3. You're splashing diamond just for that. That seems like maybe a poor choice, guys. A little bit. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm thinking we're actually going to be running mono Ruby. Let's be honest here. This is a mono Ruby deck if I ever saw one. Unmerciful Tormentor, we will grab that here. And our next pick, ooh, tough choice. We could either take the Fang of the Mountain God, really focus on these 1-drops, these really scary, I'm just going to empty my hand and I will always have things to empty, and this is going to be terrifying. Or we could take the Bombsmith. Bombsmith is removal. When this enters play, you may deal 1 damage to target troop. That's also not a bad option for us. No, I think the Fang of the Mountain God is actually slightly superior. For us, anyway. The question is, can we get it to wheel? We might. That's the thing. We could take the Bombsmith, prevent our opponents from having that as an option. We have a number of things of low health that we don't want removed, and the Fang might come back around. I'm taking this Bombsmith. This looks like an arena deck. It's getting pretty close to it, guys. I'm happy overall with the direction of this, guys. All right, coming into pick 34. This is the 4th pick. We have a Repel here. This is our 2nd Repel that we've seen. There's also a Charge Bot, a Shadowgrove Witch, and a Ruby Aura. I'm kind of worried about not having enough troops, honestly. Could grab the Assault Technician. Assault Technician or Ruby Aura. Or nab the Repel and splash it for the Angel. I'm grabbing Repel, guys. I'm doing it. Oh my goodness. Throat Cutter is the uncommon here that was left. This and other orcs you control have Rage 1. There's also a Arena Brawler and a Shamed Gladiator. All of these are fantastic for us. That Repel might have just been a hate pick. I'm going to take the Throat Cutter. Basically, our entire deck is full of orcs and maybe a Killipede. Seems like value to me. Let's see here. We also have an option for a Ruby Lance. Deal 1 damage to target troop for each Ruby threshold you have. That's solid. There is a Daring Swordsman. There's also a Furious Taskmaster. Target orc you control gets speed this turn. The question is, do we need more removal, or is Furious Taskmaster worth so much more given the fact that we have a lot of orcs, and it will allow us to keep the pressure on our opponent? I think the Furious Taskmaster is superior to the Ruby Lance, as much as it pains me. Just orcs all the time. I'm going to take this Crushing Blow, because why not? More combat troops. Target attacking troop gets +2/+2 and crush this turn. That is a finisher. That is a combat trick that can kill an opponent's troop, as well as get you lethal damage on your opponent. Put that on the Killipede, put that on whatever you like. It's devastating. I'm going to play that card, definitely. Let's take this Hornet Bot out. We'll not be running that guy. Run 10 shards, GG. I don't think we can run 10 shards, David Death, but we're getting close. We're getting close. We're really high on the 1 and 2 range. Could grab this Sniper of Gwaine. I think I will just cut it. There's also the Shadowgrove Witch. Both of these are decent. I think I'm going to take the Shadowgrove Witch, if only because it's pretty devastating when used against us. And I would rather that it isn't. Sniper is it's okay. You didn't realize we were playing Constructed. You know, it's looking like it, isn't it? Imp Hoodlums, our Pimp Hoodlums here is the pick. When this enters play, destroy target opposing artifact. It'll be a fantastic sideboard card for any dwarf deck we happen to go against. Heck, I might even main deck it, depending on how things go. Although, honestly, I'm liking what I see right here. This is just fantastic. I am going to cut... What am I going to cut? I could cut Reversion. I could cut Research Librarian. I think Research Librarian is the bigger threat. Draw a card. You pay 1 less to use this power for each artifact that you control. Let's nab that. Might not be quite as much of a threat against our deck, given that, you know, we do have a bit of an aggressive start. But still, we'll take the Blood Crazed Zealot. Never underestimate the power of a 5/4. It is a 5 cost. Probably better off running the Fire Soul Wizard, but it is an orc. Could also cut the Rigid Buffalo. You know, actually, I'm going to cut the Rigid Buffalo. That would be something that if our opponents got it out, it would be scary. Hey, somebody have left a Ruby Aura for the last 4 picks of this pack. Don't mind if I do. There is also a Suppressive Fire and a Shadow Blade Lurker. I am going to take the Suppressive Fire. It's not something I want to main deck, but I might end up using it anyway. So we'll see. Mutate or Axebot? Probably Mutate. I'm not that afraid of Axebot. It's kind of meh. And an Avalanche Giant to round it off. This thing, I've actually won a draft using this thing. Choose to discard 2 cards. This deals 4 damage to target troop. Why did you make us choose the Aura? David Death, if our opponent doesn't have removal in their deck, Ruby Aura can straight up win us a game. In particular, we also have, what is it? Yeah, we also are running, where is this guy? Yeah, Throat Cutter. Throat Cutter, all of our orcs have Rage. Rage Troop with Swift Strike, devastating. Devastating. And we have the removal to take care of our opponent's Swift Strike's troops. It's just the best pick, by far. Let's go ahead and sort this by cost. You know, but Yeti is fun. Yeti is fun. I'll give you that much. Yeti's a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and put Cannot Be Blocked, as well as some Rage on this thing. I'm looking at 16 shards. We do not need any more than that. What is our resource curve? We're currently about 80% ruby and 17% blood. So let's go ahead and put maybe 9 and then 7? No, 6 and 10. 6 and 10 seems a little bit safer. This looks like a Shatter Shield deck if you've ever saw one. I wish we had a Shatter Shield, Lewitham. We didn't see any. Not really at all. And 1 diamond card. No, we don't want to put Angel of Dawn in for no reason. We're running the Killipede. Angel can chill and look on from up high. Why Immortal Tears? I like Immortal Tears, if only because it helps thin our deck a little bit. It helps make sure we get our stuff together, and will help us with the Killipede. I could take it out. Could put something else in there. Something a little bit more aggressive. Suppressive Fire, for example. Imp Hoodlums. Let me do a troop count. Fixing is never bad, but let's check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 troops. We could put in a trick, but I like Immortal Tears as potential fixing option. Tears is yelling Splashy Diamond. Hey, chat's working. Fantastic. Maybe. It's really laggy, but working. Let me refresh it once again, just to make sure. Haro? Waiting to join channel. Not quite connected yet. It might be. Just messing with you. Don't bother doing it. Yeah, I wasn't planning on it, Cell. Sad face. I shouldn't have reconnected that. Looks like chat is broken again. You know what, guys? I'm going to go ahead and set up a screen capture. I have one in the wings here for the times when stuff breaks. Let me just set up a new screen region. Whoops, let's try that again. Select region. And okay. Oh, whoops, I need to set up my my black chat chroma key. Hmm. Okay, give me 1 second. Let's pop this out. Put you on the side. Chroma key you. And select region. Aha, much better. Much better. Okay, alright. How's that look, guys? Oh, I messed up my screen region just a little bit. There we go. Alright. It's not ideal, but hopefully it should hold us over while the CLR plugin is being a little bit wonky. Side game? Yeah, we'll probably play a side game, David Death. Don't worry. I just wanted to get the chat up and running. It was being a little bit bitchy. Just a little bit. Why did I break the internet? I'm not so sure this is my fault, Cell. I think the blame might lay elsewhere. Hey there, Kvetch. Welcome. Oh, you know what we haven't done, guys? We haven't chosen a champion. Wow, money draft. You have no idea, Kvetch. We got an Angel, a Stormcloud, and a Killipede. 2 Chase Legendaries and a Chase Rare. All in one draft. It was kind of nuts. It's been a while since I've had a draft that was quite this ridiculous. What champion are we going to run? We could run Zared. We could run Gazog for the added ping ping. Gazog might be the pick, honestly. The other potential option is, of course, Polka or Flynn. Or maybe even Sir Giles Rowan. Sir Giles Rowan might be the pick. Target troop you control, and all troops in all zones that share a trait with it get +1/+0. How many orcs do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We only have 11 orcs. So the question is Sir Giles Rowan worth it with only 11? Or do we run something else? You like Polka. Polka face. I like it. Blaze Elemental, it's a 3/1 with speed. Solid choice for an aggressive deck. Polka's not bad. The reason why I hesitate playing Polka is it can be blocked, and if we're having trouble, I think Gazog might actually give us a more aggressive presence. Deal 1 damage to target champion and gain 1 health. It's only 1 damage less per charge than Polka, because if you use the ability twice, you're looking at 2 damage instead of 3. Plus, Polka works best when there's something to be something that inspires your troops, right? You have some pyromancers. This might be best. Sir Giles and orcs. Well, I was thinking about that, Luotham. The problem is, if we go and take a look, we have what, 11 orcs? Let's take a look at this again just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. We have 11 orcs. That's a little bit too few to really take advantage of Sir Giles. A little bit too low. We could run it. We could run it, and it might be effective. In your opinion, it is Polka or Zared. Zared is another decent option. The problem with Zared... Well, is it a problem with Zared? Going extra removal. Gazog is super aggressive. Like, super aggressive. So if we pick Gazog, we're saying, bam, you're dead. If, however, we choose Zared, we're saying, yes, I'm going to put out early troops, but anything you play, I will simply remove off the board and keep attacking in. They're different strategies. Both could work. I think Gazog works better when we have a stalled board state later on in the game. Zared helps us against dwarves. You play Giles with 9 humans. Giles is an option. Don't get me wrong. And it's not even a bad option. 11 is almost the entire creature base. Zared can put their fatties in kill range of your weenie orcs. Truth. This is true. We already have 4 removal spells in the deck. Would we benefit from more? How many cross subcategories do you have? Well, what do you mean by that, Cell? Explain. I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Oh, you mean like for troops. So Orc Warrior. We have Imp. Imp isn't cross. Human Mage. Okay, I don't think we have any mages. And a Dwarf Mage. Troop types. Yeah, only Rangers. Mages on our others. If we buff up Mentor of the Flames, that is the only one that would buff up everybody. That's the only one who would buff up everybody. It's doable, but that's it. I think we also have, what, Throat Cutter is a rogue. No, they're all different. Every single one. You know what? I actually am going to run Giles. I am actually going to run Giles. I think my reasoning there is that our biggest problem would be if our opponent got out a big, fat dude that we wouldn't be able to kill with our orcs just attacking into them, or with the removal we already have. And if that happens, if we get into such a spot, Sir Giles will ensure that everything else that we play gets bigger and scarier as the game goes on. We have a lot of charge generation in the form of extra rots and crackles. Crackling Bolt, Crackling Rot. We might be able to get this power off twice in one game, in one draft.